Okay, we are going to keep going with hyperbolas today. Let's jump into some more of these multiple choice questions that are, like I said, very similar to something we could ask you on the test. Okay, so looking right here at number 5, sorry, it is x first. So I know I'm looking for an x hyperbola. Okay, so it looks like I can only eliminate one answer choice here, which is answer choice D. Okay, again, I can eliminate him because he is a y hyperbola. Okay, where y would be the first step in the equation, or the first variable listed, not the x. Okay, now it also tells me that this is x minus 2 and y minus 1. So my coordinate of my center, my x coordinate is positive 2, my y coordinate is positive 1. Remember, that's for the center of your box. Okay, don't forget that the signs are opposite. Okay, when we put in a negative, that's when it actually becomes positive. So in this situation, both of these are minuses inside the parentheses, so they become positive when you pull them out. Okay, so looking at the 3 options I have left, I am looking for the one whose center of the box is at 2, 1. Okay, so this guy is at 2, 1, he's good. This one is at 1, negative 2, so he's out. And this one also looks like it is at 2, 1. So now I'm down to these two. Okay, now I'm looking for a box that is square root of 4, so 2 units wide and 2 units tall. Okay, this one right here is only 1 unit wide, so this is the only option. Okay, and let's check it. We are 1 2 units wide and 1 2 units tall to the top of our box. Okay, jumping to number 6. Okay, another x hyperbola. He is out. That's a y hyperbola. And the rest of them are good. Okay, my x coordinate, because it's positive 1, becomes negative 1. Because it's negative 2, becomes positive 2. So I'm looking for a center in my 3 left that is at negative 1, positive 2, so he's good. This one is negative 1, negative 2. And this one is negative 2, positive 1. So I don't even have to do any more work. It's this guy right here. Okay, we can check it just to be sure. It needs to be 4 units wide. So starting here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 units wide, and then 3 units tall. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, flip it over. Okay, with number 7, we have a y hyperbola. Okay, so all these guys right here, answer choices for number 7 are y, so we're good. We can eliminate anybody. Okay, be careful when you name the center. Remember, I'm looking for the x and the y. So my x coordinate of my center is positive 1. My y coordinate is positive 3. So I'm looking for a center at 1, 3. So he's good. 1, 3, he's good. This one's down here in the negative. He's not good. And then I believe our little friend down here is also in the negative, so he's not good. So now it's going to come down to the length and height of my box. Okay, so for my y, I'm looking for one that is 2 units tall. Remember, from the center out, this guy is only 1 unit tall. This one, if I would count from the center up, 1, 2, 2 units tall, there's your answer. Number 8, another x hyperbola. These are all x's, so we're good. Okay, I'm looking for the center of my box to be at negative 1, 0 is my y coordinate. Okay, so negative 1, 0, he's good. This one is not. Okay, this one is what, negative 3, 1, I believe. Okay, this one is at 0, 1, which is not what I'm looking for. And this one is at 1, 0, which is also not what I'm looking for. Okay, this one gives us some information that we're going to have to graph. Okay, and once we get it graphed, we can then determine which answer choice we're going to pick. Okay, so let's start with the vertices. I'm going to do the vertices in purple so we can keep them separate. Okay, so one vertice of my parabola is at negative 4, 0, and the other one is at positive 4, 0. Okay, I'm going to do my foci in red. Okay, my foci are going to be in red. Negative 5, 0, and positive 5, 0. Okay, so based on that, I know that I'm dealing with an x parabola. Totally just missed my dot there. It's going to look something like this. Okay, and halfway between these two dots is right here at 0, 0. Okay, so I know that my center is at 0, 0, which by the answer choices, it looks like they're all there. Okay, I can easily eliminate two answer choices right off the bat though. Okay, it says again up here in the equation, write an equation of a hyperbola. Okay, pluses mean that I'm graphing an ellipse. Okay, the plus in between these two mean I'm graphing an ellipse. That is not what I want to do. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to check is the width of the box that I would draw. Okay, so the width of my box would be 1, 2, 3, 4 units wide, which means that under my x, I'm going to have 4 squared, which is 16. Okay, again, you can't really tell how high the box would be right here. Okay, it's kind of hard to determine that, but based on the information that we're given, okay, C is the only answer choice that makes sense. Okay, again, over here, we're talking about a hyperbola. Look down at your answer choices. I've got an ellipse equation as an answer choice. Okay, it's got a plus in it. I don't need him. Okay, so let's graph the other ones. So my vertice I'm going to do in red. My vertice, I'm going to have to zoom in on this one, sorry. My vertice is at 8, negative 3. 8, negative 3 is right there. And then at the other end we have negative 8, negative 3, which is right there. Okay, so this tells me the center is no longer at 0, 0. Okay, it's going to be a little different. My foci is at negative 10, negative 3, and positive 10, negative 3. Again, so I know I have an x parabola. It is, again, terrible graphing the parabolas here. Okay. So let's see how many steps it is. Okay, so from negative 8 to here is 8 steps. 8 more is 16. So since I'm halfway, there's my center right there. And that is at 0, negative 3 is the coordinate of my center of my box. Okay, so remember when you plug that in, you're looking for 0 with the x, positive 3 with the y. Again, that's 0 with the x, positive 3 with the y when you plug it in. So this guy is out. Okay, and we just said that the width of our box would be 8. Okay, so our box would be over here somewhere. Okay, and that width is 8, so 8 squared is 64. So under my x, I'm looking for 64. Okay, pretty easy here. They just want you to find the slopes of the asymptotes. Okay, remember it's y over x Okay, finding slope is y over x. In this case, it's going to be the square root of the numbers hanging out with those variables. Okay, so right here I have 16 over the guy that's hanging out with the x. Okay, so my slope is going to be plus or minus. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 9 is 3. So plus and minus 3. Okay, for number 2, the guy hanging out with my y again is 16. And the guy hanging out with my x. Okay, so even though it's a completely different hyperbola, I still have my slopes plus or minus 4/3. Okay, some more. So we have the square root of 169 over the square root of 81 plus or minus the square root of 169. That is ugly plus sign right there. 13 over 9. Again, all I have to do is remember that the y is on top of the x. Always rise over run. Okay, that's all you have to remember, is that the y is on top of the x. Okay, over here we have the y, which is 100 over x. So we have plus or minus 10 over 6. And of course you always simplify, so plus or minus 5/3. And again, more slope finding. Okay, y over x, square root of 4 over the square root of 16. So plus or minus 2/4, which is plus or minus 1/2. Okay, be careful with number 2. Everybody's immediate instinct is to put a 0. Okay, remember, it is a fraction. If there's nothing listed, it's technically over 1. Okay, so we have the square root of 1 over the square root of 4. Square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2, so plus or minus 1/2. Do not put a 0. You'll have 0 over nothing, or sorry, nothing over your x. You never have a 0 in a slope. That would be a flat line, or undefined. Okay, number 3, the square root of 4 over the square root of 25, plus or minus 2/5. Square root of 25 over the square root of 4. The exact opposite, plus or minus 5/2, 5 over 2. And the last one's real quick. Square root of 196 I know what the square root of 196 is. 14. We have 14 over 7, which is plus or minus 2. Okay, it would be 2 over 1, but again, we don't have to put that over 1, so plus or minus 2 is perfectly fine. Okay, over here, our y is 100, square root of 100 is 10, square root of 196 we just found out is 14. Simplify that, and you get 5 over 7. Number 7, square root of 25 is 5, another square root of 25, plus or minus 1. Seven over 5, that is already simplified, so give it a plus minus. And the last two, square root of 49 is 7 over square root of 25, which is 5, positive, negative. And finally, 6 over 13, plus or minus.